We came to this hotel. It's kind of an older hotel, but there's literally nobody here. And we got the whole pool and the hot tub to ourselves. We didn't have any swim clothes. Well's in his underwear. He trying to get Dad in there, but he won't get in there. So we come up here to this Woodmizer event. And they've got this giveaway. Pretty nice little table someone's made. And they're giving away this bag. They have every industrial sawmill lined up, ready to go. So here's the 4500. You've got all your main 3-phase hookups and everything in this. You got your cabinet doors and stuff that open here. Go up into that. Your air and everything in the back that goes through there for the saw to blow off as you go. And then in here is your main screen and everything. Joysticks, just like Super 70 is. You can see all your main lines are run back to here that go up over your all your hydraulics. They got a big old poplar log on their saw. The newer ones got this adjustable table on them, where the old ones were flat going across through there. This one you can adjust it up or down. You got your airbag automatic flip up. Yeah. How you doing? They're gonna run this 4500 into your transfer table and stuff here, and then they've got your edger over here, a rip over here. Well, they'll rip a bunch of boards at once. I'm excited to see this run because I've seen a ton of these and I've had interest in it because it just shoots a bunch of boards out at once. And they've got it hooked up, so we'll see how it does when it shoots one of them cants through there is what I'm hoping, because that's a pretty big cant. It's poplar. I wish it was a hickory one because we'd really get to see how that did. What is it? Is that right?
And I think it's kind of cool.
What's that? There's a edger right here. This one doesn't have as big a throat on it, but if you was doing smaller boards, it'd be pretty great. The setup on it's nice. You can see here's your speed, stop, go. It's your EG350. The only thing with these for me is they do not have a big enough throat capacity. You can only do like 2.5 inches, I'm pretty sure, on this. But we'll see. But you can put a bunch of blades on there. You could put you a brush right here too, and it would brush the sawdust off. It says height will go up to 4 inches. Is what it says, cutting capacity. So 3/4 up to 4 inches. So it's saying you can do 4 inches thick in that. Look at this 5500. This is what I really want to see. How big them wheels are. Things are huge. I ain't never seen one with a geared sprocket to drive that in and out, but I like that way better than just this, because a lot of times these, when the stuff gets down in them, will spin inside there and it won't drive that arm in and out sometimes, and you've got to work them back and forth. And so that's really nice. Those are some real big drag backs too on there. I like the drag backs, how big they are. This one I think is 50 horse on it, and it'll cut a lot bigger log than the 45 or anything. I mean, you can see how big that log is there. But I could do it with my Super 70. This one has the dual post rails on it, where most of them just have the single. You can see the bearings up in there. And then you can adjust your tracking and stuff on both sides through it there. Man, them wheels are huge. The inside's probably a 1/2 inch thick to the thickness right there, and then you've got a huge wide beveled edge, so you can run a real big blade if you want to. They've got a 2 inch on there right now, but I'm guessing you could run 3 to even bigger. You've got 3 automated rollers on there and 2 chain turners with your log clamps. You got your camera up here and stuff so you can see. And then it says 5500 system. Showing if you're head or bed mode right here. You see that. And then you got the system here. It's wild that show. I wonder if you can pick. Oh, okay. So you select your language. We'll see how all that runs. And then you can keep it cruising and stuff with your pedals. Wells, watch them pedals, honey. But just like the Super 70, you've got the 2 joysticks. 2500 is the only one without 2 joysticks. And so, yeah, just don't touch any buttons, okay? You sit there, just don't touch any buttons. I'll stay right here, yeah. But that's a very, very big meal. I mean, you can look at all the head and everything on it. I like how the wings flip up. You got your water tank up here. That seems like it'd be hard to get to. Looks a little bit different than the 4500. I like this a lot because that is easy to replace. Plus it has a ridge cap on it. It's clamped in there, where most of them are made to the frame part. And then when the frame piece gets dented up, messed up, you've got to change the whole bolster. So this right here, you could just change the channel, and you could pick this up and make it yourself at any hardware store if you had to. Those might be aluminum. I don't know. They're steel, maybe steel. Come on, Wells.
This is our entry-level industrial sawmill. This is, I want to say new, but it's not so new anymore. We brought this out last year and have a number of them in the field now. The WM2500, as far size-wise, is going to be comparable to the structure of an LT70 head, so not quite as heavy as the 4500, which we'll see here next. But it does have the WM4500 bed structure underneath it. So kind of trying to combine the best of both worlds there for our entry-level industrial that are a non-portable sawmill. On the inside of the head, 24-inch wheels, and it runs a 2-inch band, and we've got 3-inch blade guides on it. You'll see on this wheel, which will be a difference from the other mills that we look at, is we've actually got a wide rubber belt on this blade wheel. This is a little bit new technology here, and it's a little bit different from the steel wheels. What we've done is for our entry-level industrial, you know, we kind of feel like that customer base doesn't always have really readily or easy access to machine shops or to be able to crown wheels, or maybe to even to have a $5,000 or $6,000 worth of spare wheel set on the shelf. So what we've done is if you think of a beadlock tire, like on an off-road truck, we've got a beadlock on the outside and a tight, wide belt that the blade runs on. So it lets you change out both wheels in about 30 minutes, letting you avoid some of the machining pressures that you're going to have with the steel wheels with crowning. 30 horsepower electric motor. We're using an electric motor in servo gearbox for the up and down. The cycle time from bottom to top is about 5 seconds, so we've matched it to what you're used to on the Super 70. On this sawmill bed, we're going to have an incorporated feed belt off the backside. So for those of you who are coming from the 70, that's already going to be incorporated on this mill. That won't be something separate you have to add. You'll see as we go through the industrial line here, we have matched all of our industrial bed heights. So customers getting into this, once you set up a mill, let's say you start with a 2500 or a 4500 and then you're ready to grow. The reason we've done that is so that the heights on all of your secondary processing doesn't have to change. We tried to make that growth of your business a little bit more seamless. We're using pantographs on all of our industrial mills, keeping it up and out of the way. We can load any of these 3 mills from the left side or the right side, and the pantograph can be positioned. This 2500, it comes as you see it. It's going to have the debarker on it, and it's going to come without a cab. You can purchase that cab extra to put on the base here. Over here, you've got your electric box and then your hydraulic pump. We've got a 10 horsepower pump, and we're doing 7.5 gallons per minute. Yeah, I would close them up. We've got a 2 horsepower motor and gearbox for the forward and reverse. Bed's going to come with 2 power taper roller standard, 3 side supports, and 2 log turners. And then we've got the 2-plane clamp that you'll see in here, which is a little different from the floor mounted clamp. We'll talk about that on the 4500. Trying to think. Anybody? Any questions? No?
You can put that clamp on the 4500
You
though.
can put that clamp on a 4500, that's right, and we'll talk about that when we get to that mill. That 2-plane clamp is a much heavier option than what we've had in the past, so we're now making that available for our 4500 owners as well.
I will just add, Colin,
Yeah.
once we go through this equipment, if there's a piece of equipment that you're like, man, I'd really like to get in the seat of that, and you're a current sawmill owner, we're more than welcome to put you in the seat and kind of walk you through the controls if you want to make some cuts. So that's definitely something we can do.
And you've got your controls for the head on one joystick. We've got a SetWorks, we've got a cup holder, and a phone holder with a USB charger. I feel like that's important to share with you guys. HMI screen, and the SetWorks on the WM2500 is going to be very similar to what you're used to on your AccuSet 2s. It's going to be very similar to what you're used to on your Super 70s. We have an option for variable feed rate joystick, and then also too, we've got a potentiometer. So you've got some choices in there.
So instead of 2 joysticks,
Trying to think
you
what
got
else I can tell you about it before we go ahead and run it. Oh, I'll tell you some specifications. So this will process up to a 40-inch log in diameter, actually 41. You can squeeze it through there. 6 foot to 20 foot lengths. You can add extensions on this if you need to cut longer. We can do up to 12 foot bed extension on this.
Crazy. You got to have quite a bit of room to put your panogram and stuff in a building.
Sorry I messed up the stack on it a little bit there, but anyways, we'll leave it here for folks to look through a little later on. Yeah, any other questions about the 2500?
Very similar between 2500 and 4500 with the bed heights being the same. Rooftop bed rails, you see, that will help eliminate trash getting on top of your bed rail, especially when they're on flat ones. You turn your log, get a flat side down, and all of a sudden you make a cut, you flip it over and say, oh man, I'm tapered. Well, this will help eliminate a lot of that from that in the future. And as Colin was saying about the clamp, it still comes with a floor mounted clamp. You can retro to the new style clamp, and I think in the future that will be a standard, with this being an option at that point in time. The built-in conveyor system, as is on the 2500, that eliminates the need for an incline conveyor. So now it's adjustable up height-wise, so whatever you can transition into for either a green chain or another transfer deck or some sort, that's adjustable height-wise from being just completely flat to up to an elevated, position to transfer your material onto whatever mechanism you have to move lumber, slabs, edging, whatever it is downstream. So still a 30-horse motor, but there is some difference between that 30-horse motor and this 30-horse motor. This one has heavier windings and it's a 4-pole motor. What that allows us to do with this particular machine is actually over-amp that machine in the cut. So we can actually draw more horsepower out of that for a short period of time. As it goes back in reverse, that's this cool down period. So it's 3 seconds of cool down period, so you don't overheat the motor. So over-amping it, you can draw more horsepower out of it. Again, steel pantograph system. I think your minimum height requirement is 11 feet that you need for the pantograph system. It can be on either side. Now, with the bed extensions, it's going to limit to what side that can be on. So, for example, if this is the loading side right here, it can be on this side, but if you go to an extension, this has to be mounted to that side. And usually it'll be positioned downstream a little bit further, so the pantograph is able to allow the head to travel position. Again, a 6-foot or 12-foot bed X is available for these. The 6-foot is just a bed extension with bed rails, no hydraulics on it. The 12-foot bed extension will have hydraulic side supports and turners on it. So those are options that you can think about. The bed X is fit on this end of the mill. So where the cab is at, the cab would have to go back further for your bed extension. So if you ever think about that for future, expansion, just kind of keep that in mind as you go. The cab is standard with this, so air conditioning is an optional. So you can get air conditioning with this. You also got like a little 4-plug post in here that you want to put like a little space heater in here in the wintertime, you can plug it in right there. Hydraulics on this is a 15 horsepower motor with a 15 gallon per minute hydraulic. So the hydraulics on this machine are a lot faster than on that machine over there. So those who may have like the 4000, I think yours was a 10 gallon per minute, 10 horsepower hydraulic system. So the hydraulics are going to be quite a bit faster. The frame itself has been beefed up. It's a lot heavier frame. And also too, you look at the side supports, still got kind of the same heavy duty side supports you got over there, you got here and on the 5500 as well. Dual turners, power chambers here that'll raise up and down or allow you to move the log back and forth to help position that log on the bed frame if you didn't get it loaded onto your log deck right and it gets on the mill, you need to move it back. The wheels are a 25-inch steel wheel. It will come standard with a 2-inch band on this. Now, if you want to go to an 1.5-inch band, you can. You can go to a belted wheel option, but the belted wheel is only for an 1.5-inch wide blade. The 2-inch bands are going to run on a steel wheel. You've got an air box up here for tensioning your blade. You pull that out, it expands the airbags, tightens the tension your blade up. If you want to release the blade, just hit the air box, it collapses it. Also too, there's another button up here. Once you put a band down and you tension it up, you want to free spin the band to make sure it's tracking. You've got a little release up there that releases the brake. You can spin it and make sure it's tracking properly there. The power feed motor is actually a 5-horse motor. So your feed speed going forward is max is 150 feet. Reverse is 300 feet a minute. I think the feed speed over there is, can't remember, what's the feed speed on it? Is it 100 feet a minute on forward or 150 feet a minute?
Forward on this, yeah, about 140.
Yeah, and reverse is about 140, 150.
140, 150, yeah.
So your return speed is a lot faster as well. Inside the cab, it's joystick operated. So your joysticks operate your hydraulics and also operate your head and bed functions. So the joysticks are proportional. What that means is the further you move that stick, the faster the operation that you're trying to command is going to operate. You have a touchscreen system in there that you touchscreen for your set works and things like that. Whether you're going to be, set works in stacking mode or pattern mode, whatever you want to do, it's all sitting right there. Also, too, if you have a 3-way table behind this instead of the standard transfer deck you got right here, you can tell that transfer deck, oh, I want this board to go this way, or I want that board to go that way, or I want it to go straight on out the end. So they will transfer left, right, or straight out the end, depending on how you want that board or slab or can't to travel. Up-down system is this servo on this one now?
It is, yeah. It's a servo motor and gearbox. We use a ball screw on
Ball
this
screw, yes.
as opposed to the chain up and down that you're going to see.
Yeah.
on
So with that, it gives you a very fast set up and down and very accurate setting as far as blade height, whatever you set it to go to. We're running a 3-inch diameter blade guide rollers on these right now, so it gives you a lot bigger surface area on that bearing housing that the blade's riding on. It gives you a little bit more life, bearing life, and actually outside wearing housing life as well. Debarker is an option on this machine, and I can't think of anything else that I've meant to cover. You guys have any specific questions?
Does this have cruise control like the Super 70?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
It's on that foot pedal, right?
that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
So you set your starter log, end log for that function. You get you set whatever function you want to do as far as, I'm doing a 1-inch drop or whatever. Hit that, hit the end of the log, starter log. Once you do that, boom, you just hit that pedal, it goes through until you let off that pedal.
And I can even talk a little more about the set
Sure.
works. Okay. So kind of the difference you'll see between the set works on the WN2500 and then on the 4500 is the Sawyer's going to give this set works a little more log information, like a start of log and an end of log, and also a next cut. We have some options built in here to automate the sawing process for the Sawyer in the cab, whereas on that one in a 70, you're much more manual. You're going to be hitting more buttons than you will when you're in the cab on this with that set works. And then this is going to be a little more automated with different functions, even options to bypass some things.
So how's that, what do you do when you pull up to the end, and when you bring your head up to the end of the log?
Yep.
You hit the button and saying, okay, here's the
Yep.
end of the log?
Yep, so we'll pull up and we're going to tell it that this is the start of the log. When I see the blade come out, I'm going to tell it that that's the end of the log. We're monitoring the horsepower on the motor, so that's when it's going to know that it's into the cut. That's actually our cut and gauge horsepower. And then we're using that log information to do some of the automated sawing.
So if you had 11 or 12 boards straight that you was cutting down the bottom, you could just hold the pedal and it would.
You can hold the pedal and it'll go until you
Right.
hit side sport.
Right.
So,
And that's a good.
Then you're a
Yeah.
qualified sawyer.
That's right. That's right.
so absolutely, yeah, no, it'll keep going until you bring
Right.
your foot off. Absolutely.
Any other questions that you might have left before we make a cut or two on this machine?
Is there no way to tension that from inside the cab? You have to do that every time outside.
I am just going to track it real quick. That'll give you, show you how the brake release works, how you hit the brake release instead of.
Right. See that strap in there? It goes around, it wraps on that wheel, and then closes and shuts on it. And then the motor drops and goes up on the airbag.
Also, one quick note, the cab does have legs that goes underneath this here to raise the cab. That
Yeah.
you have a better view of the sawing surface.
What he's saying is there's legs that go on the bottom of this cab that go up another foot, 2 foot, whatever. The debarker blocks the laser on part of it. See it hitting the... So when you've got a debarker on there, you can see that it's blocking the laser on most of it. You can see they got about a 1/4 inch deflection on that blade over there. It went through that pretty good. All poplar logs though. I wish you had a big old hickory on there. See, it would blow out the bottom of the door every time. That big clamp like that, you can see how it is so stout. that it's just busting through that log, that poplar log. So if you're sawing a lot of softwoods, you're going to want to get the same clamp that's over here on the 2500, which is right here. You can put this clamp, see the 2-post clamp goes through there. You can put that on there. Yeah. All mine are gonna land. I love how fast that thing is going back. No. I don't think he's pushing as hard. Yeah. I told you that. I told you that. Yeah.